For boxing here. Shout out to the LDBC. Big shout out to my subscribers. Hands up to the channel. Please subscribe. Hey, so I was just scrolling along on YouTube this morning trying to see what was live after Cali had dropped off. I actually looked for Judy the Truth, but I couldn't see he wasn't on yet. But just stumbled across a video by one of the other channels, and I actually didn't watch the video, but the title said AJ is not Brazil, undisputed bout is 50-50. So basically my interpretation of that without watching the video is that the poster is actually saying that, you know, don't read too much into what Wilder did to Brazil, because AJ is a different fighter, and basically saying that that's a 50-50 fight. You know, I just want to say this about that. Those of us who feel like AJ is tailor-made for Brazil, I mean for Wilder, and that AJ is going to meet a similar fate that Brazil met versus Wilder, we didn't just come up with that feeling or that belief because of what happened to Dominic Brazil. We've been saying that for years. And those of us who wasn't saying it before it happened, as far as the clip, most of us realized that when we saw the Klitschko fight. What AJ does not do very well plays directly into the hand of what Wilder does well. Now, could you say that in the reverse and say that there's some things that Wilder doesn't do very well that plays into some things that AJ does well? Very well could say so. But the things that AJ does well, even with put together with some deficiencies of Wilder, just don't spell disaster like AJ not moving his head and being slow and a stationary target and a sucker for that right hand spells for him. Excuse me. AJ is tailor-made for Wilder. Not saying Wilder stops him in one round, but I think at some point in the fight, Wilder stops AJ eerily similar to how AJ was dropped by Vlad, and eerily similar to how AJ stopped Brazil. I mean, and that has a lot to do with AJ himself just as much as it does Wilder. Has nothing to do with both guys fighting Brazil. Has nothing to do with both guys fighting Jason Gavin. Has nothing to do with both guys fighting Molina. Nothing. Has nothing to do with that. It's all about the very thing that y'all are saying to try to say it doesn't happen to AJ. When you say styles make fights, it's actually the very reason why we see the fight playing out the way it does. Definitely the reason I see it playing out the way it does, because styles make fights. And I think AJ's style is tailor-made for Wilder's style. But as of right now, that fight's not made. So there's no point in spending a whole ton of time talking about it. It's just that right now that's the hot topic because of Wilder just had a devastating KO. And AJ has a fight coming up. So it's natural to talk about it. But honestly, I don't want to spend too much energy talking about fantasy fights that should be reality fights. But I just wanted to give my take on it. I still feel AJ's tailor-made for Wilder. I don't think anything's changed, and I don't think anything will change. And partially, a biggest part of the reason why I don't think so is because AJ has been successful fighting the way he fights. And AJ has been told that he's this great fighter and he does all these things so well and so forth and so on. And he really does do a lot of things very well. But the reality is that when things are working for you, when you're riding high, why are you going to look at what you need to do differently? Why are you going to look at, you know what I'm saying, man, I'm not very good at this, I'm not very good at that, and this guy's great at, you know, exploiting that in fighters. I need to make some changes. Not when everybody's telling you, not when all your worshipers are telling you that you're way better than this guy and that your level's above him and that you're going to stop him. I don't see it. AJ's not knocking guys out with devastating fashion to begin with. And the theory that he's going to land some perfect shot on Wilder and just end the fight, I think that's far-fetched. And the stamina issues that he has don't lend themselves to him outboxing Wilder for rounds and rounds and just putting rounds in the bank and winning. At some point, he gets caught. At some point, he gets dropped. At some point, he's doing an interview talking about, you know what I'm saying, building himself back up and becoming a champion again one day. But that's all I'm going to say on the D-Lo 404 Boxing. Shout out to the LDBC. I'm out of here. Peace.